My father didn't hug me when I walked through the door. He didn't smile, didn't cry. He only stared, as if I had returned from the dead and he didn't know what to do with a ghost. "Where's my wife, Dad?" I asked, my voice raw from months of sand and silence. He looked down. His hands tightened on his glass. "She's at the country club," he said slowly, "celebrating her engagement. To your cousin Mike." The words hit harder than any bullet I'd ever dodged. My pulse went cold. "And our daughter?" I asked. He swallowed, couldn't meet my eyes. "She's there too. She calls him Dad now. Says you're a coward soldier. Says you were her mother's mistake in college." Silence carved the room between us. I stood there, still in desert fatigues, dust in the creases of my skin, blood from a country that wasn't mine still dried under my nails. I had survived ambushes, IEDs, the endless hollow of nights spent staring into the black sky. But this was the real battlefield. I left without another word, and I drove to the club. The parking lot was lined with luxury cars. Laughter spilled from the glass doors, music rising with the clink of champagne. I walked in, boots heavy against polished marble. No one noticed me at first. Then her eyes found me. She froze, glass in hand, dressed in white, smiling only moments before. Beside her, Mike, his hand on her waist like he had earned it. My daughter stood near them, holding flowers too big for her small frame. For a moment, no one breathed. Then whispers spread like fire. She recovered quickly, too quickly. "You shouldn't be here," she said. Her voice had the edge of someone cornered but pretending otherwise. I stared at her, then at him, my cousin, the man I'd trusted like a brother once. My daughter's gaze brushed past me, cold, rehearsed, like she'd been told who I was supposed to be, a ghost, a mistake. That's when the denial cracked. Not because I couldn't believe it, but because I could. Because every letter unanswered, every call unanswered, every vague excuse had been a thread in this web she'd spun. The war hadn't taken my family, she had. I didn't speak. Not here, not in front of them. Instead, I smiled, nodded, left as quietly as I had come. And then I started the real work. I dug into bank accounts, hidden transfers, property deeds. She hadn't just betrayed me. She had built a life on my absence. A house of lies funded by the money I wired home from a desert that never forgave me. I spoke with my daughter's teachers, heard how Mike picked her up, how she called him Dad in front of classmates, how she seemed rehearsed in forgetting me. Every fact was a blade. I collected them all. At night, I stared at old photos, her hand on my chest, her promises written in ink. I compared that to her eyes now, hollow, practiced, empty of everything but calculation. I wasn't going to storm into her world and break things. That would make me the villain. No, this required precision, patience, control, silence sharp enough to draw blood. The truth came not in papers, but in a single look. I arranged a quiet meeting, just her and me, neutral ground. A restaurant corner where no one cared who we were. I slid a folder across the table. Inside, bank transfers, hidden phone records, messages, enough to unravel her image of grace and respectability. She opened it, went pale. Her hand trembled against the paper. "You've been busy," she whispered. "I learned from the best," I said. My voice was calm, controlled, like a man ordering coffee. She tried to smile, to twist it into something she could still manipulate. But the mask had cracks now, wide enough to fall through. And in that silence between us, she realized I wasn't broken, I was watching. And she had already lost. I didn't expose her that night. That would have been too kind. Instead, I let the evidence bleed slowly. Sent the documents to her parents, her friends, her polished circle at the club, to Mike. One by one, their silence around her turned cold. The stares, the whispers, the sudden absence of invitations. She was stripped not by my hand, but by the truth she thought she had buried. When I finally confronted her in our daughter's presence, I didn't yell. I simply asked my little girl one question. "Do you know why they call me a coward?" Her mother froze. My daughter looked confused. The silence stretched until it snapped, and the mask shattered completely. I didn't stay for the aftermath. I walked out of her life the same way I had walked into the club that first night, quietly, with nothing but clarity in my hands. She wanted me ruined, forgotten, replaced. But in the end, it was her world that collapsed. Not with fire, not with rage, with silence. I had been forged in war. She had been forged in lies. And lies don't survive under the weight of truth. I didn't reclaim her. I didn't need to. Because revenge isn't about destruction. It's about indifference. And nothing cuts deeper than a man who walks away without looking back.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.